CDS General Bipin Rawat and his wife to be done in Haridwar. Of course, this is the latest that we are tracking for you on the broadcast. Those are the live visuals coming on your screen. Those are, of course, the live visuals that are being played on your screen, wherein the full military honours will be given to General Bipin Rawat and his wife while the immersions of the ashes are being conducted in Haridwar. Of course, General Rawat and his wife, along with 11 others, have lost their lives in the tragic chopper crash that happened on Wednesday 8th. Of course, we have some reactions coming in. Let's listen in.
जैसे प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया के फर्स्ट सिटीज़न कहलाते हैं, ऐसे ही CDS जो हैं वो आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के, नेवी, आर्मी, एयरफोर्स के फर्स्ट सिटीज़न हैं। एक टावरिंग पर्सनैलिटी थे जिन्होंने देश की एकता, देश की अखंडता, देश की मॉडर्नाइजेशन, आत्मनिर्भर भारत वगैरह के लिए, इंटीग्रेशन, जॉइंटनेस के लिए बहुत बड़ा काम किया। ऐसे में बड़ा लाजमी था कि उनको ऐसा सेट ऑफ दिया जाए जो अद्भुत हो। वास्तव में पिछले 30-40 साल में ये पहला इंसिडेंट है जहां प्रधानमंत्री देश के रात को खुद 9 बजे एयरपोर्ट गए श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए। उनके साथ में डिफेंस मिनिस्टर भी थे, NSA भी थे और तीनों चीफ्स ऑफ आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स थे और अनेकों चीफ मिनिस्टर्स वगैरह भी मौजूद थे। फिर जिस माफिक का उनको सेंड ऑफ आज उनके घर में दिया गया बरार स्क्वायर में, वो भी एब्सोल्युटली अनपैरेलल्ड था, कम्प्लीटली बिफिटिंग। साथ ही साथ देश के 1.4 बिलियन लोग जो थे वो भी अपने अपने तरीके से उनको श्रद्धांजलि दे रहे थे।
बहुत ही नेक दिल इंसान, बहुत ईमानदार व्यक्तित्व और देश के लिए समर्पित। जितना समय वो मेरे साथ रहे तो मुझे यही लगा कि वो जैसे संत होते हैं, उसलिए देश के प्रति उनका डेडिकेशन एक संत की तरह से था। देश के अलावा उनके दिमाग में कोई बात रहती नहीं थी कि कैसे हम और आगे बढ़ें।
All right, those are the visuals. Of course, CDS General Bipin Rawat's daughters have taken their father's ashes to Haridwar, and all the honors and the procedure is currently underway. Those are the live visuals coming on your screens. Well, General Bipin Rawat was an Indian military officer who was a 4-star general of the Indian Army. He served as the first Chief of Defence Staff of the Indian Armed Forces from January 2020 until his death, which happened in a tragic helicopter crash on the 8th of December. The full honours are being given to CDS General Bipin Rawat and his wife. The ashes will be immersed soon in the river Ganga of Haridwar. Well, General Bipin Rawat, prior to taking over as the CDS, he served as the 57th and the last chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee, as well as he was the 26th Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army. General Bipin Rawat was, of course, the first CDS of the Indian Armed Forces. India as of 2021 had service specified command system, joint and integrated commands, also known as unified commands, which was of course headed by CDS General Bipin Rawat. Well, we know it was on the 8th of December when General Rawat and his wives and members of his staff were amongst 10 passengers and 4 crew members aboard the IAF Mi-17 helicopter, which was of course en route from Sulur Air Force Base to Defence Service Staff College, Wellington, where Rawat was to deliver a lecture. But unfortunately, the chopper had crashed 10 kilometers from its intended destination of landing. Well, we know that General Rawat and his wife were cremated according to Hindu rituals with full military honours at Brass Square, New Delhi yesterday. They were accorded a 17-gun salute. The cremation was of course carried out by his two daughters, and of course those are the visuals on your screen from Haridwar, live from Haridwar. There's a massive crowd that has been joined in the immersion of the ashes of both General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat. It is of course an unfortunate situation that had occurred on the 8th. I've been joined by Major General Ashok Kumar on the broadcast. Major General Ashok Kumar, what are your thoughts, sir? Now, General Bipin Rawat and his wife's ashes are to be immersed in River Ganga in Haridwar. Both the daughters are carrying out the procedures with full honours. What are your thoughts, sir?
Actually, with the loss of General Bipin Rawat, whole nation is seeing as if some of their own family members have gone to the different world. While all kind of ceremonial honors have been given to the general, and rightly so, now it is time for the family to go into the rituals which are believed to be taking care of his soul in his next life, if that happens. Orally speaking, everybody is so moved, and everybody is looking at as to how this loss is going to be fulfilled, who is going to be the next CDS, how the orchestration of those events which he was doing in terms of theatrization of command, indigenization of the Indian equipment products, and integrated battle groups and so many other things, how they are going to be moved ahead.
So how difficult of a situation is it and a challenge for the Indian Armed Forces in a state of situation like this, when in one hand there is mourning of India's top generals, and on the other hand the position of course has to be filled in?
Really speaking, the challenge at the line of actual control is precarious. Despite substantial dialogues and the talks between the corps commander levels, though have been agreements on certain cases, including we have also moved out of our great victory from the Kailash range, but there are a number of areas where the pre-April 20 status is yet to be restored. Not only that, in a number of other areas, China is pursuing aggressive behavior. Four nation needs to rise to this challenge, which was very rightly being steered by General Rawat. However, in his time as Chief of Army Staff and thereafter a few years as CDS, he has already put adequate structures in place, including training of the entire, be able to handle the challenge in equal measure. Of course, we will miss him, but I'm sure the people who will be coming thereafter will take care of this challenge, because whole nation is united to find any aggression or any aggressive behavior by any neighboring country.
Right, of course, with General Rawat, we are also having visuals of the last rites of Rana Pratap Das from Odisha, who was amongst those who were killed in the chopper crash, and the family of course is carrying out the last rites with full military honours. We have visuals on our screen, and of course India has lost key heroes of the Indian Army.
Definitely, this loss is monumental, especially at a time when the nation is faced with not only two challenges in form of China and Pakistan, but 2.5 challenges wherein certain elements within the country are also not in consonance with the national building and are involved in those activities which are not good for the nation. So therefore, this is a time when his continuance would have continued the momentum. But as I told you earlier, irrespective of this loss, the people will rise to the challenge and the national flag will always be put in a place that the whole countrymen feel honored.
Right, General Ashok Kumar, stay on with me. I've also been joined by Wing Commander Praful Bakshi on this story. Of course, Wing Commander Bakshi, if you can hear me, the mourning is not going to end soon. Of course, we have live visuals on our screen. One hand, it's General Rawat's last rites. The ashes of General Rawat and his wife are being carried by their daughters in Haridwar. And on the other hand, we have JW Rana Pratap Das's last rites carrying forward. What do you have to say on this, sir?
It's a very, very sad occasion. There's no doubt about it. We are bidding farewell to a warrior. Home the warrior dead. The famous poem, of course, is there to remind us that the valor of these brave men serving the country, laying down their life, achieving the Veer-Gati, and thereafter, now they are coming as per other last rites being carried out by the loving family members. This maintenance of our ancient traditions is, of course, brings in and firms up our, feeling for our own people, our own culture, own civilization. But more than that, we are reminded of their sacrifice, and that's why when they are being immersed in Mother Ganga, that is what everybody ultimately wants. This is the way the ritual demands. Yes, armed forces follow this ritual to the hilt, because in every army regiment and every Air Force, Army, Naval unit, this procedure is carried out till the end. And you will see that immersion of JW Rana Pratap Singh, immersion, General Rawat's immersion, is last rites being conducted, will be conducted by their own armed forces personnel also. They will be present. And this is a part of the ritual of the traditional ritual of the armed forces. We are very proud of that. And now we are seeing the amount of respect which General Rawat had gained, an amount of respect which the armed forces have. We saw in the funeral yesterday at New Delhi, and that was, you couldn't believe it. It was so massive and so much of emotions, true emotions. People volunteered to come out. It was not a manufactured, artificially created crowd. It was absolutely from the feeling the people went out. And this is what has made the people realize that here is a general who dedicated his entire life. There's not a smudge against him. There's not a scandal against him. Like the other countries, you can see your neighboring country and other countries where they have a different sort of a living. Here he was an honest, down-to-earth soldier general, and he was still building his house. I mean, look at the quality of the man, and look at the quality of the man. He created what should have been created 50 years back, and put it forward so firmly on the ground, whether it is joint manship, whether it is integrated commands, whether it is theatre, creating theatre commands, joint training, joint planning, joint exercise, joint operations. Everything has been now put into place, and this is why the armed forces are going to, and India as a nation is going to feel the void of the departure of this brave warrior. However, we are now waiting for the procedures to start. We are hoping that all the family members, get solace and peace, and they pray for the healthy departure of his soul, proper departure of his soul to the next world, which we all believe in. That's all what we can offer at that moment to General Rawat. But more than that, we must now make a solemn promise that we must stay united. The armed forces now, he has brought them at a certain level and a standard. It should be maintained by us, all of us, and let us hope that his dreams come true.
Right, Vinkamana Bakshi, stay on with us. I've also been joined by Major Mohammad Ali Shah. Welcome to the broadcast, Major Shah. Of course, it's a day of mourning, and of course, it's a hard time. The country is yet to come in terms with the loss of its bravest, and it's of course the final journey of the departed souls, wherein the immersion of ashes of General Rawat and his wife will be carried on soon. Your thoughts on this, sir?
Can a man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? You know, it is the way General Rawat lived. He lived a life less ordinary. The way he departed the world, it was again, anybody would want to go with so much of grace and so much of respect and honor that way. So yes, we have to mourn, we have to shed a tear, there's no doubt. We can't say just move on. No, the inquiry will happen. That's a different thing altogether. But then we have to celebrate his life at the end. There are going to be procedures that are happening, and we are really very, very proud of having a brave heart, that son of the soil, with us over here. And because martyrs never die, they become legends and live in our hearts and minds forever. He would be remembered forever. In fact, he had commanded 3 corps in Nagaland. In the northeast, where I was the ADC to the GOC 3 Corps. Way before him, a similar appointment, I was a personal staff officer, like how we talk about his staff officers who went along with him. So in fact, this jacket that I'm wearing right now, it's a Sema jacket from the Sema tribe of Nagaland, where I was posted at that time, same time. So yes, he is survived by 2 daughters who are very brave girls, and I support and our sympathies are with the sisters over here. Let me tell you one small experience in Nagaland in the year 2012. I had gone there, had dinner with Mrs. Rawat and General Rawat, and that time they told me that their daughter she trusts the villagers, she had local friends, she had gone to spend some days without any protection party. That is the trust that they had shown in the villagers over there. Imagine the corps commander's family is going there without protection. That is the trust. So really, he knew. I would call him an iron fist in velvet gloves. He knew where to actually be hard, where actually a soft talk has to be given. So he was a thorough diplomat and a soldier at the same time, a person. And I would like to conclude by saying they don't make men like him anymore, Riyanka.
Right, Major Shah, it's a very difficult situation for any family who is, of course, facing a loss. But when it comes to the families of the army men, how do you get this courage and the strength to stand straight and face this emotional battle?
There's no doubt about that. We all know that. I get a lump in my throat as I say it. I'm so sorry. Pardon me. Their families are the bravest. It is their families who are left behind, and they bear the brunt. But I must tell you, it's a very, very proud moment for any family whose family gets martyred. So yes, how do families cope with it? The nation stands by martyred families forever. Forever. They are never alone. They are always there. So that is the thing. So I would request you can just mute yourself so we can hear you. Any other, that's a different thing altogether. So families definitely cope with it. We stay for Rawat commanded, and General Bipin Rawat had told me 2 things. One, Beta, our generation should always strive, the young generation, to be at least 2 steps ahead of their father. So when we have a general like a chief of army staff like General Dalbir Singh Sohag, I must comment that his father was not an officer. and he was an NCO. But he went, the moment he was commissioned, that time itself, he was liable for a salute from his father. So he went slightly ahead of his father at that time, I would say that. So yes, but now how do you surpass someone with a legacy whose father already was a lieutenant general, whose father was the deputy chief of the army staff, and you were a young officer there? You would be under a lot of pressure. You know, Field Marshal Lord Montgomery had once said that sword of honors who pass out as the toppers of the course in academy rarely become generals. And here we have an example of General Bipin Rawat, who passed out from the academy as a topper, as a sword of honor, and not just become a general, became a 4-star general, not only just became the chief of the army staff, became the chief of the first chief that too, of the entire defense services, CDS, Chief of Defense Services. I mean, it is like, so, and he lived up to it, because when he told this to me, when he was a corps commander at that time, and he was not in line to become the chief at that time. No one could have thought that probably he would be the chief. But then, yes, the universe listens to it, and you get what you deserve, right? So he actually became the chief, and we couldn't have got a better man than General Rawat to be the chief of defense staff. I mean, because of him, the nation's army, navy, air force got integrated. We owe him a lot, because China has just integrated their PLA and their PLF, their air force recently, like just a few days back, which we had done a couple of years back. So most certainly, and in 2017, General Rawat had said that India is ready for a 2.5 front war. On one side China, on the other side Pakistan, and then fighting an internal problem of insurgency in Jammu Kashmir, where we fight our own people in Northeast and Jammu Kashmir. It's not easy at all. But General Rawat, very amicably, very gracefully, with an epitome of grace, he solved all the problems. So yes, yeah, that is how the martyrs' family, or the family of soldiers, actually ultimately bear the burden, and they live with it, but with pride, because as they say, they become immortal. And when you go to a war memorial and you see your family member's name etched over there in history of India forever, it is a matter of pride, no doubt. But it is at the end of the day, like for soldiers, when two people, two classmates, one becomes a business tycoon, other joins the army. But then, when someday or the other, we all have to leave this world. We all have to depart. Someday or the other, that is inevitable. But to go so gracefully, without suffering, in a matter of few minutes. Just imagine, before the crash, he was hale and hearty, and that too, he kicked the bucket wearing his boots on. He went in his uniform. He went with his life partner, his soulmate, Mrs. Rawat. What better way to go, to depart from the world so gracefully? And he would be remembered for generations to come. In fact, just yesterday, Riyanka, I had a lot of people flocking to my house. I was like, why are you coming to me? I mean, you should go to Brar Square or somewhere, They said, no, we want to join the army. We are inspired by the general. And these are people who had come across the state, across far away. So there were a whole lot of visitors, while I was at the same time on back-to-back lives without having my meals on time. And there were people, and they were inspired, which obviously means that he has left a solid impact even on the youth of the country, despite being a senior citizen. And when two people return from their respective duties, because the other one was sent on luxurious business trips, other was sent on the rugged line of control. I'm talking about, I'm making I shouldn't be comparing, but a civilian and a Fauji. Everyone is doing their job. Everyone is doing their service to the nation. In fact, you are doing a commendable service to the nation, Riyanka, and your channel is doing their great service. I think doctors, scientists, teachers, everyone is doing even a municipality worker is doing his own service to the nation in his own way. But at the end of the day, again, you were sent on luxurious business trips. I was sent on the rugged line of control. We both returned. Both wives couldn't control their tears. And you hugged her, but I couldn't. You wiped her tears, but I couldn't, because my bullet-ridden body was lying in the coffin, and the coffin was wrapped with a tricolour. My way of life ended. Yours continued. We both left home at 18. So yes, as I told you earlier, it's the martyrs' families which are the bravest, Riyanka.
Very well said, Major Shah. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, come in here. Like Major Shah rightly mentioned, it's the inspiration and the courage that a soldier leaves behind once martyred. Now, the work must not stop. Of course, all that General Bipin Rawat had vouched for should continue. What do you have to say on that?
Absolutely right. General Rawat, the brave soldier. General Rawat, the brave general. And General Rawat, the brave leader of men who understood men. In fact, when he was planning and when he was carrying out all his plans regarding the jointmanship of the armed forces, there was enough criticism of him. People were criticizing him, but he just did not bother. He continued looking at the object. Maintenance, selection and maintenance of him, the first, the law of the war, the principle of war, he just followed to the hilt. He carried out his job, and look where we have got. Straight away when we saw the Chinese aggression taking place, the fighters were in place. The accelerated buying was actually initiated by him. Though he did not make any announcement about it, in the media, in the public relation, nothing was said, and he continued. And thereafter, you saw how we faced the Chinese, how the Chinese got unnerved, how he handled the Doklam crisis. That is, again, enough to unnerve anybody, how he handled it, and how the world started realizing that this is what India was requiring for the last 40 to 50 years. It has not come now. It has come now, and now he'll get his due. But unfortunately, everything when he had positioned, everything is now starting. The race has started, and he has gone. Well, all I can say is that when the soldier comes back home, bereft of his sword, the gun and horse, they lay him down beneath the tree, next to the tree, next to the stream he loved to be. And now he goes in ashes down into the flow of the holy flow. Will we keep the promises alive? I wish we could tell him, I wish we could know. This is what is now the predicament of everybody. That will we be able to keep the promises that what he probably created, he probably did. Will we keep the promises to him? That is to be seen. But I'm quite certain that our system is so strong that the new CDS will come without wasting time, and this is how he'll carry the baton forward. General Rawat, wherever he is, he will look down, and I am sure he'll be happy to see our reaction, and he'll be happy to see what we do thereafter. And talking of Mrs. Rawat, let me assure you, the Veer Nari who lived with a husband, who worked on the principles created by husband, she was awarded for creating so many schemes for the widows, for the soldiers, for the orphans of the soldiers, that she was awarded to the government, and we don't know about it. Nobody has ever mentioned it. This is what the greatness of the couple was. And now that they go, we are very happy that they are in safe hand. We are sad to miss. We are sad that they have left, but we are happy that they're in safe hand and their flag will keep flying.
Right, Major Shah. Of course, it's time that the youth of today take this as the biggest motivation to join the Indian Armed Forces.
Absolutely, Riyanka. Wales, at the raw age of 21, you could be commanding over 100 men who live and die by your word. So definitely a lot of youth have been inspired to join the army, and they've come forward, and the entire nation has been united. We all saw yesterday at the proceedings at Brad Square what was happening, the entire nation, everyone, and we heard the brave daughter and wife of Mrs. Lidda, of Brigadier Lidda. They spoke, they said that yes, we are sad because his daughter said, my father was my best friend, my confidant, my friend, philosopher, guide. I'm sad that he's gone. But at the same time, I'm happy that he went with less suffering. What better way to go than this? And a small little poem which my father had presented him a book, his autobiography, which he had written, and which was much in the news. And General Bipin Rawat saw that book, he opened it, and the moment you open it, it is the introduction and the dedication. It's dedicated to General Shah's wife, that is my mother basically. So General Bipin Rawat loved that poem and he read it aloud. And this is the book, and the poem is here. My wife, embodiment of grace and virtue, my wife, the pillar of strength, my support, my life, a person who's faced all perils by my side, never wincing to face the oncoming tide. Her sole aim to care for our children for, she has labored tirelessly on that score. Frugal with herself, she generously gave the best to family with what she could save. A homemaker, decorator, an excellent cook, has ability to read any person like a book. Her counsel, sane and wise, could never be lost, ignored at great peril and immeasurable cost. 45 years together, what a blissful and fulfilling life. May Almighty bestow blessings on you. My dear wife, may you retain your strength and virtue. You've done your bit. It's my time to serve. So this poem is dedicated not just to the entire Veer Nari, but to all the wives, or because behind every successful man, there's a woman. It's the women who support the men. That is why they become where they are. And certainly, my heartfelt condolences to all the 13 brave hearts who left this world, all the departed souls. I'm sure wherever they are, they're in a better place and they're looking down upon us, smiling and showering their blessings upon us. My heartfelt prayers for Group Captain Varun Singh, who is battling for his life, and I'm sure he's going to make it. He's a fighter, a Shaurya Chakra awardee. That's an award for a gallantry award, a military honor for bravery. Only the bravest of the brave receive that. His father was in the army, incidentally from my regiment, the Regiment of Artillery, and I'm certain, just hold strong. If you can force your heart and nerve and snoot, if you can hold your heart and nerve and snoot, to serve your turn long after they're gone. And so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. So I'm sure Group Captain, and he will be back with us again, flying with full jest and full josh. Priyanka.
Right, Major Shah, I'll come back to you. For now, I've been joined by my colleague Abdul Bashir, live from Bangalore. Abdul, what is the ground situation right now? Give us updates. Abdul, if you can hear me, I've been told that I've been told that you're in Bangalore. What is the situation there? Help our viewers understand. What's the ground?
See, right now we are at the Yelahanka Air Base, where the mortal remains of the Lance Naik Sai Teja has arrived, as you can see. So here the preparations are going on before the final rites are to be given. 4 military officers and 3 Air Force officers are here at the place, and as you can see, the final mortal remains have been placed. The wreath laying ceremony is going on at the Yelahanka Air Base in Bangalore. So from here the body will be taken to the Air Force Command Hospital, from where tomorrow it will be taken to Chittor district. See, like you can see, the Air Force officials are giving the final salute to the mortal remains of Lance Naik Sai Teja.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.